Well, at least we lost in style. What's up, everybody? TN Fanatic here. Hope you all are having a fantastic day, and welcome to our post-game reaction. And this one, it's my final Titans post-game reaction of the season. Whew! It has been an absolute whirlwind getting to cover these games, having to sit in this seat and talk about the craziness, the ups, and yes, there were a few, the downs, and just everything in between with this Titans team. And of course, to end the year, not only do we lose, but a ton of stuff happened after. We will get to all of it, but let's start right here. So, Tennessee loses to the Texans in the Week 18. No one really cares game. Nothing. It was really on the line for Houston. It didn't really matter. We lose 23-14. With that being said, with nothing on the line for Houston, with CJ Stroud only playing like one series, I thought, boys, the year has been terrible. It's been bad. I stated in my last reaction that from a managerial standpoint, I do understand how it would make sense for us to just drop this game and say, you know what, let's maybe try to go for the draft. Let's hope for next year. From a managerial standpoint, I do understand that to a degree. But I stated, let's play hard. Because at the end of the day, the players, they are the ones going out there trying to win games. And now, all of a sudden, we are asking them to lose on purpose, to not play their best. Jeffrey Simmons, he called them out. I would assume he called out the management and just whoever told him to not play his best. Because, that's not who Big Jeff is. He is a competitor. He is a winner. I hope he stays a Titan. I really, really do. So coming into this game right here, I wanted to say all that because, I had confidence. I actually did that we were at least going to put up a fight. We were at least just going to say, let's just throw out the playbook. Let's just have some fun at home on our final regular season game in front of, it was mostly Texans fans, but, we were wearing the retro jerseys. So, either way, let's go out there and let's have some fun with it. So first quarter did not start out fun. Texans have an opening drive with CJ Stroud. For some reason, he's still playing here. Stroud goes for 11 plays, 69 yards. Collins, he had some nice catches in there. We just couldn't catch him. We really couldn't catch a lot of Texans players. So third and goal, Stroud, he finds Collins for a 2-yard score. So the Texans, they have an opening drive, they score first. And like a lot of games that have gone on for us this season, we failed to respond. We failed to capitalize. We failed to use the emotion, especially of this game being the last game of the year, to do anything with it. Case in point right here. Second and 11, 7:03 in the first. Ridley, he was trying to make a play on this, but he gets blown up by Derek Barnett, the former Vol. Unfortunately, I have to mention him a lot in this video. If it was against any other team, I'd be so thrilled for Derek, because I know what he did for Vols Nation. But yeah, it stinks that he's on the Texans. So later on in the second quarter, as if the Texans needed another moment to just rub in our absolute faces. 1st and 10, 13:55. Pierce goes 92 yards A 92-yard touchdown. Unbelievable. Fast forward to 6:45. Mills, who is playing now, he finds Robert Woods. Look at all these former Tennessee players having a day. Derek Barnett and now Woods. So Woods, he does catch this ball, but he fumbles it. See? You see that? Maybe that's why we got rid of him. I don't know. He fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Brownlee. So this time, we respond very nicely. We have an 11-play, 53-yard drive that ends in a field goal. Now, here's just my issues here. If this was in week 2, I would have maybe understood going for 3. But guys, I mean, you know what? That was it right there. That's when I knew we were trying to lose. Because why would you not go for a touchdown? Who cares? The season's over. Why would in front of the home crowd? It just this Titans team, they're just killing me all the time with this. Why would you not go for a touchdown? I don't understand it. I can't play with it. You don't play. Which, before the first half ends, the Texans get a field goal of their own. So us trying to close in this game, trying to make this game a lot closer. I don't even know what I said. I don't even know closing is even a real word. Point is, we try to make this game close, but Texans, they get a field goal of their own. So third quarter starts, and at this point, third quarter, Houston and us, we are, we're playing the game here of who can have more plays to cost them this game. Who wants to not win? Who wants to lose and get out of here? So after we get a field goal, the Texans have a 12-play drive. 4th and goal, Mills. See that? Look at Houston going for it. Because they know that this game, it doesn't matter. So Mills, you know what? Let him pass here on 4th and goal. It was incomplete. Good job, that's what I will say on this series right here. Good job by our defense to keep the Texans out of the end zone to end that series. So Tennessee, we start the 4th quarter. Finally, we're getting some huge big-time plays here. 4th quarter, Levis, he finds Calvin Ridley. Deep downfield, and what a catch by him. 2nd and 5. Here it is again. Here it is again. I fall for it. I don't know why I do. I fall for it. I think that we have some hope. We have some momentum. And then this happens. So Levis, he tries to hand the ball off to Oliver. But he fumbles. He gets blasted by, guess who? Derek Barnett. And he takes it the other way for a Texans score. Again, any other team, I would have been thrilled for the guy. But it had to be against us. Of course it did. Of course it did. Finally, we have something to cheer about. 3rd and 10, 2:41 in the 4th. Just as the game is pretty much about to end. Levis, he finds Martin for a 49-yard touchdown. And then we go for 2. Also now we want to play. Now, we want to go for every single point that we can. When, the season is pretty much done. So, Levis, he did find Wiley. But, at that point, the Texans had it already sealed. And they win 23-14. Now, as I stated at the very start, after this game ended, and the days that followed, tons of stuff happened. The most recent thing that happened is that our general manager, Rand Carthon, was relieved of his duties. He was fired. This might be a hot take right here. Honestly, I was floored. I really was. I liked what Rand Carthon was doing in terms of the players that he was drafting and the free agents that we were getting, I mean, look at the free agents that we got. We got Ridley. We got Pollard. Both had great seasons. And in terms of the draft, we had Latham, who, yes, toward the end of the year, his play did kind of it wasn't as great. But you know what? He could build on that. Brownlee, oh my gosh. Got that fumble recovery. Great game awareness by him. I love his moxie too. I love that. I love his swag. I thought he was a great pick for us. And he's fired after a season where, yes, we got blown out by a good amount of teams. Bills, Lions, Colts. Gosh, the Colts, that's embarrassing. But you know what? So many times in so many games, we could have won. That Bears in week 1 could have won that one. Jets week 2 could have won that one. The Colts game at Nissan, those refs just screwed us right out of that game. That game was rigged. The Vikings won? Oh my gosh! Clay Blakeman did us dirty. And he better not be in the... If Clay Blakeman refs the Super Bowl, I might not watch it, honestly. Especially if it's him and the Chiefs in it. I might not watch it. Because it's, clearly he's going to call it the Chiefs' way every single time. But the point is that we were a better team than what our record was. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Rand Carthon, he did dirty. Honestly, he was. I loved what he was doing. I loved what he was building. I remember it was the day that he got hired, I think. The Titans posted this video of Rand. He walks into, I believe it was the Titans facility, and there were people, it was just a sea of people just clapping and cheering for him. He worked with the 49ers. He certainly had the resume, and he was proving it. And we did him dirty. And I did see some Titans comments on asking if they can fire Amy too, Miss Amy, our owner. Sorry to burst your bubble, fans, but I don't think we can fire Amy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. She is the owner. It's her choice. What I would encourage Miss Amy to do is that at least establish what the plan is. Establish the plan. When we had John Robinson and Mike Vrabel, which, gosh, that feels like such a long time ago. Excuse me. The plan was simple. It was laid out. Vrabel is a defensive mind. That was the plan. Rely on our defense, and plus just a gritty run game led by Derrick Henry. Oh my gosh, I hit my mic. That was the plan, and it worked. It did work. But then John Robinson traded A.J. Brown, and that's where pretty much it all fell downhill. So, we had to establish this new plan. We fire John Robinson. We bring in Rand Carthon. Then it was a year after that, it was after Rand's first season as our GM, that we fired Mike Vrabel. So I'm like, dang, okay. But, we bring in Coach Callahan, who, he has a good resume with the Bengals, being their offensive coordinator. I would encourage Brian to not wear as many hats in terms of calling the plays. We need Brian to be our head coach. But, I think that the direction that we were going in, it was one that did have some positives to it. Our defense, Oh, great defense. Absolutely. We had a great third down defense. Our passing defense was solid all year. There was a there was a direction that we were going. Yes, our offense was, like they weren't not too great. But it certainly was something I feel like Coach Callahan can retool and like he can work on it. But now with Carthon fired, I'm pretty sure a lot of Titans fans, including myself, we're asking ourselves, like, what's the plan? I think that's where a lot of the criticism is coming in for Amy, because there's just like it feels like there's no plan because there's nothing consistent. It's just, like, fire this guy, fire that guy, just fire. So that's what I would encourage Miss Amy to do. Find whoever you need to find. Hire who you need to hire. Whoever our GM is, I hope that that's a hire that Miss Amy feels confident in. And one that I hope can, work with Coach Callahan to improve this Titans team, mainly our offense. Especially with the circumstances and what has been presented for us after not just our game ended, but also after the Patriots game. So the Patriots beat the Bills, and since we lost to the Texans, the Tennessee Titans officially have the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft. Whew! That is interesting. Now, let me just say, to start this, talking about the draft and, coming into week 18, there was a chance of us, getting, the number 1 pick. I'm not saying I watched the Patriots game, but just as, the Texans game went on into, the fourth quarter, just every now and then, I would just peek at that game, just be like, oh, look at that, the Patriots are leading. Ooh, that's interesting. And it's certainly interesting for us because here's where we can go. I feel like we have a fork in the road, and there's 2 directions that we can go. The first one is one that might be the more popular choice, is if we say, sorry, Will, you and your Mayo can go home. We are going to invest in a new guy. It could be Sanders. It could be Ward. So we could go that route. But what I'm worried about, if we do go that route, is it's going to be the same thing for whoever is under center for us. Sanders or Ward or whoever, they are going to be running for their life because our O-line can't protect anybody. It was the same thing with Will. In that Packers game, oh my gosh. Dude got blown up. The first Texans game, even though we won that, I think Levis got sacked what was it, 8 times? My gosh. So that's what I'm worried about in terms of if we say, all right, Will, see you, dude. And if we pick a new quarterback, I want him to be, have him be successful, Have him stand up. Not everybody is Joe Burrow, okay? Give him a chance to thrive with a good O-line. Now, here's the other direction that we can go. We can invest in Will, because there were a few shining moments that he had this year. He improved his game in terms of not turning the ball over, which, hey, that's a big plus. I think it wasn't until the whole situation where, he got hurt, and then Rudolph, he had to play, and then Levis, he and Rudolph were just, trading off starts. I think that's what really kind of got to Will. is that like he was just kind of thrown off of his rhythm and the momentum that he built. So if we do choose to keep Will, who do we take at number one? I feel like if we're looking at a guy that can help our team on, both offense and also defense, it's got to be Travis Hunter. Absolutely. Dude won, he won the Heisman. I feel like he earned it. I know that people will say that Genty, he did earn that trophy as well. And Genty, he had a great year. Absolutely. But just what happened with Penn State, him facing a higher level of competition, I feel like, Travis Hunter probably was the right pick because he's doing it on both sides of the ball. That's incredible. So that's our situation. Both could have their ups, could have their downs. Here's what I feel like. At the end of the day, it's not up to me. I am just a fan. But what I feel like we should do, regardless of what choice that we make, whether we choose to pick Sanders or Ward or we go with Hunter, we need to invest in the O-line. That's what we need to do. It's clear. We have great receivers. Pollard is great. Our defense, it's great as well. They will be fine. I feel like that's where the focus needs to be during the offseason, during the draft, and free agency. Everywhere is invest in the O-line. If we do that, no matter who is under center, whether it's Sanders, Ward, or Will, I feel like our offense will thrive and we will get better. And this season will hopefully be nothing more than just a bad dream. Whew. But fans, that is going to do it for this post-game reaction. Thank you all so much for watching. Fans, I'm not completely done with covering the NFL yet. I do plan to have a prediction video for this year's playoffs, so stay tuned for that. And also, I plan to do a prediction video as well as a reaction video for the Super Bowl, so stay tuned for that as well. But fans, once again, it will do it here. If you all enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, and you can join our Fanatic Army. And a honey salutes to all of you as always, and I hope that all of you have a fantastic day. And for the last time this season, time now.